It really is so simple, huh? So yeah, when you lose control, you lose balance, right? Um, Now you're out of control, and how that relates to the vertical and horizontal spin ratio of operating a Merkaba vehicle, the hub tones, the tetrahedron, equal sharing, equal balance, equal pressures, the equilibrium states of consciousness that are in perfect balance because we're spinning at the proper mathematical ratios to zero everything out. So we're always experiencing the zero field. Yeah, 0 degrees of separation, so we're not experiencing any nervous tension, right? Because we're experiencing perfect balance across the entire electromagnetic radiation waveform, holographic streams, streamers. And so yeah, it's managing the circles of fire, managing the fire letters, and I used to do this when I was a child. I called it energy management services. And with energy management service, the service, a server, a network provider, the first network, building the first network communication platform, right? Building circuits, building motherboards, building capacitors, resistors, yeah, and going from the different states, from being a solid, you want to be a solid, right? You want to be a gas, want to be a liquid. Yeah, this is that's why I just love all the stuff that Asha Dion brought out, and actually, she's not obviously not the only one. Okay, so and I say that because of others that have made some remarks about what's what her status is, right? And I don't know. I have no idea. But what I do know is that the information, the visual, mathematical, geometric, coded frequency and vibration that's based on the information that we're mapping, and thus we're cellular recording, the mathematics of the codes that are released through those maps, because that's what they are. They're maps, which is you're reading the map. You're map reading the mirror. Your mirror is a map, which is a magnet, which is a recorder. It's recording the mathematical geometric form and flow, which is the shape of the mathematics of creation, celestial creation mechanics, which is the form and flow, the mathematical flow, right, of sound and light, fire and ice, being one, being both. When two becomes one, the one becomes all, right? You're the entire spectrum. The coldest magnet, the hottest magnet become one, and now you're equally sharing, so you're experiencing an equilibrium state, so you're not out of order. You're in service, which is the inner cells, which is the inner eartha, right? The inner into due. Yeah, due, like A1. And so I have fun with it because laughter is medicine, right? And so it's just like it's the way that when those tones first came out by virtue of what you experience, by what it feels like, right? And so when I was hearing them sing songs, okay, stuff like this. I'm experiencing in me, in my heart and soul, the music that they're echoing. So I'm experiencing those tones that is based on those letters and the way that those letters are placed next to each other. Sha, e, da, amor, amorea. What does it feel like to experience those fire letters? Right? So I began realizing as I'm mapping and photocopying, holographically recording the maps, right, into my cellular recorder, and I began feeling good. Whoa. So that means you're learning through that experience. So that's why when those codes were first introduced, and I'm going, I've known those forever. It's like second nature. Remember when we used to say as children, oh, that comes second nature to them. You mean first nature, the natural waveform, the first waveform, the first spiral. Boy, I know what that feels like. That feels good. It feels good to be with the first spiral. It feels good to be with the first waveform vibration of consciousness, the identity of the consciousness, the identity platform, the first communication platform, the first creation, right? Eternal wind song, the eternal flame, fire vapor, the eternal water flow, eternal foundation in solids, the eternal fire and ice, first radii ion like neuroions, gyroneuroions, the elemental commands. And then Eartha Sala, rise, the Eartha Sala, the power to heal. So those codes were released to give us the power to heal within ourselves, because they do. And I know that because that's what's happening with me. So I'm an exhibit. I'm like exhibit A. I'm an example of the exhibit A, X. Which means I'm learning through the experience by what I was magnetically recording into my cells, and my cells are happy and joyful, and they love the codes, which are the tones. Thank you. Thank you. I'm eternally grateful for the original teachings that came back online, back in service. Because that's what they are. They're the original teachings of the founder races. So now you're in the competitive environment, the Roman arena and now you have all the celestial mechanics and the mathematics that's now online competing against the original Christic, spiral, Krystala, the original teachings of the founder races. Right? And so that's why I'm eternally grateful for all the different channels that I come across, because a lot of the Dance for Freedom workshops that she had put up with her other speaker contracts, as we say, the salvage mission, the emerald mission is salvage, which is redemption, which is recovery, which is to recover what's been lost, right? Over time-space vectors, which is recovering soul fragments, shattered crystals, the crystal spiral, and recovering the original template so we remember who we are. The 144s, 12 spheres. Yeah. And so that's why I'm eternally grateful to all those that have taken the time and energy to put the freedom, the MCEO freedom teachers, original Christic Guardian founders, teachings back up online. I'm forever grateful to all of you for having done that. I thank you every day. My gratitude is experienced by the love that I have for all of you, for your willingness to put that up there. In spite of everything else that's going on, when you're in a competitive arena. No sooner did I put something else up there like that, and then you have somebody else underneath that because somebody had read what I had put into one of the Rumble things that had deals with Benjamin Fulford and those folks. And after this particular identity was map reading what I put up there, spark their learning interest. Oh, you're hungry to learn after what I just put up there, and was wanting more information on the subject. So who do you think popped in? Yahweh. Is that surprising? No. So when I went to go put in a link, so that person, now that I'm replying to that person's identity, here's a link to take you to the Crystal River Prayer. And so I listed a couple of different channels that are resources of the MCO, the original Christic teachings of the founder races, right? So what do you think was happening while I was trying to post that in there? Interference patterns. So that it would not come out in a mathematical order in which that consciousness, when it comes back to see the reply, is not going to be able to translate it in the right mathematical order of the divine eternal one. See? So it's running interrupters, endocrine disruptors, breaking the circuits. See? Because now it's going to take me more time to have to do what we call a workaround because of what the AI system does, the beast system. So now what I had to do is I had to delete that and then recode, which is to re-edit it in such a way to do a workaround so that when that person sees the reply that I put up there, they can make sense out of it. Like in sensors, right? And how that works between thoughts and feelings, thought patterns, burn patterns of sound and light, creation mechanics, and what it feels like at the completion of a circuit by virtue of the circulation speed, our spiritual immunity, right? Between acid and alkaline, right? Fire and ice. Have a beautiful day. We love you all.